It's been more than a quarter of a century since Bear Bryant graced the Alabama sidelines in his houndstooth cap. Since his departure, 7 coaches have come and gone with varying degrees of success, but all were guilty of the same sin. None were equal to the Bear, that is, perhaps, until now. Only 18 games into his tenure in Tuscaloosa, Nick Saban is in the process of casting aside the omnipotent shadow that has followed the Crimson Tide all these years. And he has the faithful believing Bama is back. To go, the Alabama $1 Million Band, in the shadow of the Denny Chimes, serenading the faithful as they get ready for a home football game in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Head coach Nick Saban, it is a business trip after all. Senior quarterback John Parker Wilson, and a last-minute exchange of affection with his mom. It's the SEC on CBS, and we welcome you as the Home Depot presents the Kentucky Wildcats 4-0 against the Alabama Crimson Tide 5-0. And here come the Wildcats of Kentucky and their head coach, Rich Brooks. Getting ready to explode as Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide come out of the tunnel. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist, along with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. We welcome you to Tuscaloosa. In the afterglow of their convincing win at Georgia last week, expectations here are over the moon. Here is a question, however. Is there a chance that this Alabama team could take a step back, a huge breath, and contemplate what they've accomplished? Well, that is the dilemma that has confronted Nick Saban. He's addressed the possibility of that with his team every day this week. Kentucky, like Alabama, comes in undefeated, but they have there are some questions about the quality of their opposition thus far. And Alabama presents an obstacle for Kentucky. 20 previous trips to this state, Kentucky has not won, not once. Gary, let's talk about this Alabama defense.
You know, Vern, when I look at a team put together, I say, what can get them to a championship? I always say there's got to be a difference maker on the team, and Alabama is starting to produce that difference maker. He happens to be their nose tackle, Terrence Cody. He's a huge man, 360, 70 pounds. He's right in the middle of that defense, and against Georgia, they found out, the Bulldogs, that you can't block them with 1, sometimes 2, even 3 guys. But he just doesn't stand there like a big fire hydrant. The guy has ability to not only take on the blocker and then get outside. He doesn't get Marino on this one, but he plugs the lane. He is one of those guys that changes the offensive game plan. He's that good. The best I've seen, Glenn Dorsey did it last year, but he's doing it this year.
Let's talk a little bit about Kentucky, and again, we're going to focus on their defensive efforts so far.
I think so. If you're going to stop Alabama, you must stop what they do best, is run the ball. Kentucky is doing that. Admittedly, they have not faced that type of competition yet, but this is a veteran front, strong, a lot of pride. They play teams, and they have a star also in Myron Pryor. He has been one of those defensive tackles that fits in with the other 3 guys and makes that front 4 for Kentucky very tough. If they cannot stand up to Alabama and force them to dribble with their left hand, they have no chance in this football game.
This game and all SEC college football games brought to you in crystal clear CBS high definition. Well, it is a beautiful early October afternoon in western Alabama. Temperature of 83 degrees, winds out of the southwest of 8. And check this note. Alabama 33-2-1. The two victories for Kentucky, 1906 and 1997, both in Lexington. Kentucky won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Alabama will get the ball to begin this ball game. Ali Sharif is one of the two deep men. Cary Grant is also back. And Tim Mastay will kick off. He led the SEC in touchbacks last year. He leads this year. 15 of his 27 kicks have not been returned. This one will be taken near side. Grant out to the 24-yard line. Tackle made by Mikhail Mabry. Let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. Alabama's #2 ranking is its highest since 1993, but Nick Saban could care less. He says it doesn't matter. He said, can you name the #2 ranked team last year at this time? He said, can you tell me who is leading the marathon in the Olympics halfway through? He reminded that it doesn't matter where you start but where you finish. Ironically, though, guys, the team ranked #2 in one of the polls last year at this time, LSU, the eventual national champs, and who did they lose to along the way? Kentucky.
Yes, indeed. Remember the game. Here's Coffey on the toss, going wide to the left side. Glenn Coffey up to the 30. John Parker Wilson, now a senior, as the quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
You know, this guy has been through it all. I'm going to say he's battle-tested. We've seen him from the beginning. He's aggressive from the first day he started as a sophomore. He has a little moxie. Every time I watch him play, he kind of gets the game, and he's got a great attitude as a leader. He is the Bama quarterback.
Having a terrific senior season. Signal back in the eye. Here's play action, and John Parker Wilson lobs it beyond the reach of Will Oakley, #7, who gets the start today. Now let's check the rest of the Alabama offense, presented by Nissan. A very good offensive line. Smith, Johnson, Caldwell, Davis and Davis on the right side. First in the SEC. Wideouts, the freshman Julio Jones, Coffey and McCall, the tight end. Walker is a tight end, and Marquise Mays gets the start for an injured Mike McCoy at wide receiver. Nick Saban, second season as the Alabama head coach. Third down, and out of the spread, it's John Parker Wilson. From the backside, the pressure comes. That is only the 7th sack of John Parker Wilson, and it's Johnny Williams, #51, who cuts through.
And he beat Big Andre Smith right there. Big left tackle, All-American candidate. Watch him come to the outside with a speed rush. Kind of gets his hands off Smith and makes the play. I'll show you as this game goes along. Andre Smith kind of gives away his pass look. And I wonder if Kentucky has a little look at that.
B.J. Fitzgerald on the punt as Alabama goes 3 and out. Dickie Lyons Jr. awaits the punt at the 33-yard line. Lyons, oh boy, lets it bounce, and it's stopped at the 42-yard line. Orlando McCain was down, and here's Mike Hartline. For the season, 58.5%. Up front, Williams, Duncan, Gonzalez beats, and Murphy gets the start for an injured Justin Jeffries. Adams and Lyons are the wideouts. Tony Dixon is the tailback. First down at the 42. I formation. 3 wide. Tony Dixon comes left, nailed. Brandon Diedrich with the first tackle of the game for the Crimson Tide. They run a 3-4, Greenwood, Cody, and Diedrich up front. The linebackers, Reamer, McLean, the best of the bunch, Hightower, and Fanny. And in the secondary, Rashad Johnson, #49, all-conference potential. Second down. Four down on this play. Toss, Dixon comes left, gets a great block on the corner. That was his fullback, John Connor, number 38. Rolando McClain comes up to make the tackle.
First thing you'll notice about this Kentucky team, I don't know about all the other ones that have come in here and not been able to win in Alabama, but this team is built like an SEC team. They're not out here trying to trick Alabama with fake formations and quick screens. They're lining up and running an NFL-type offense and defense. They believe they have the personnel to play with people in this conference, and they're right.
Rich Brooks, 6th year, has turned this program around. They've won 17 of their last 23. Hartline across the middle, caught.
Illegal formation for Kentucky. The bottom receiver was not on the line of scrimmage, a mental mistake, and that's going to cost Kentucky a first down.
Catch was made by DeMario Ford.
Only had 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
Hubert Owens, our referee today. Well, 17-6 since they lost at LSU 49-0 in 2006. There's the announcement made by Hubert Owens. Rich Brooks doesn't hesitate at all when he says, when was the turning point? It was that loss. They were off the next week. Then they went on the road, won at Mississippi State, came home, defeated a good Georgia team, and they haven't looked back. Third down.
It's a base formation for Kentucky. 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back.
Hartline. George Gonzalez is the center. Now the audible. Had to call timeout.
I'm kind of surprised they did. Didn't they have the clock I was looking at that they still had 10 seconds, or was I wrong? I couldn't quite see it. It's a little bright here. But isn't that funny, though, Vern? When we talked to Hartline on the phone, he said the most important thing I'm going to have to be aware of is communication. I have to let my guys know where to line up.
Absolutely.
2 mistakes already.
There was a penalty call before the timeout taken. Delay of game, so it's 3rd down and 13. Alabama brings only 3. They drop 8. Here's a little dump-off pass, and it is incomplete. Dixon, who's caught 7 this year, drops that one. And having gotten the first down,
yes,
they give it up. Now they got to give up the football.
Listen, this is what the coach has to drive you nuts, okay? You come out, you get a stop against Alabama, and then you come out here against a good, solid number 2 team in the country, and you shoot yourself in the foot on the first drive.
Tony Dixon is the only Alabaman on the Kentucky team. So this his first game as a native of this state. In this state. Now, Mastey back to punt. Javier Arenas, who has returned 1 for a touchdown this year, grabs it and goes right. He's in heavy traffic.
Great coverage.
Sure was. Matt Ramsey made the tackle, a 40-yard punt, 3-yard on the return. Both teams 3 and out. Andre Smith and the Alabama offensive line on the field when we return. Defensive line for Kentucky: Jenkins, Peters, Pryor, and Jeremy Jarman. And the linebackers: Williams, Kelly, Schwindel has given way to Sam Maxwell on the field. Jones, Harrison gets the start for an injured Matt Lentz, McClinton, and the best of that for Trevard Lindley, the cornerback.
Checking down there, Vern. I see Schwindel's in the game, number 21. It was kind of touchy one way or another.
So Schwindel, number 21, is on. Micah Johnson, the outstanding linebacker, is here, but is not expected to play with a high ankle sprain. There's a handoff up the middle, a gain of a couple, and we have our first chance to check in with him. Thank you, Tim. 2nd down and 7 here, scoreless. Each team 3 and out to begin the game. John Parker Wilson looks left all the way, lofts it down there. He's got a man open. It's Julio Jones with the catch. The outstanding freshman beats David Jones, 40 yards.
This is what I talk about, difference makers on college football. Some of these guys are just better than your average college football player. This is good coverage, and he just goes up and snaps that ball away. Looks like we may have a little discussion here, and there's a flag down.
Flag is all the way back, just on the field of play at the 28-yard line. Whoa, bring it back.
I don't know about this one. I gotta see it. It was an unbalanced line, but I think it was a correct unbalanced line. Let's see if this was right. Tight end is shifted over. The tight end was covered up. Now, I'm not so sure if he can't be covered up because of his number at that position, but it was an unbalanced line to the left. Nobody goes out. Two players go out. I don't quite get that one. I might have to check up on the rule, but it seemed to me that Alabama was in an unbalanced left, and they had two wide receivers to the outside. Anyway, that's a big play, and it's a break for Kentucky. We'll check on it.
That wipes out a 40-yard gain and gives Alabama a second down and 12. Nick Walker is number 88. He was found guilty of the penalty. Glenn Coffey is the one with that.
Wow.
Hello! Foot race. And Coffey will win it. That's 78 yards. Coffey earlier had an 87-yard touchdown run. He has really emerged in this, his junior year. Lee Tippin for the extra point. Alabama leads by 7.
That has to be disheartening to Kentucky. Run the ball right downhill like that, and if they're playing flag football, Alabama's going to score. Seemed like inside the nose tackle that time got held just a bit, and that created the gash. Wow, 7-0 already.
It's time for the playbook presented by the Hartford.
Everyone has a gap. Watch right here. Corey Peters on the center, Antoine Caldwell. That's the gap. He's to the right of the center. He gets hooked. That creates the gash right there. See the little hold? Little jersey right there. Got away with it on the play right there, did Caldwell. Watch it from ground. He's on the left side. He shouldn't get hooked. See the grab right there? That got him by him. That's a play that could have gone Kentucky's way. I got to be honest, though. The play before should have gone Alabama's way. I still think that was a legal formation on the pass to Jones.
It became a moot point only because Glenn Coffey romped 78 yards after the 40-yard pass completion was negated by the illegal formation call. There was a 15-yard penalty for unnecessary roughness assessed on the extra point, and it places the ball back at the 15, so a chance for good field position now. Alphonso Smith, number 29, does get it out near the 40-yard line. During the try for extra point, and that's unnecessary roughness call, and so we're at 7-0, and Kentucky gets the ball back for the second time. .9:42 to go. First quarter. Derek Locke, number 20, is in at the tailback spot now. He's a sophomore. Has gained more yards than any of the 4 running backs Kentucky uses. Hartline out of the backfield. It's caught by Derek Locke, and he goes right near the 48-yard line.
We saw Derek Locke last year break out of the scene when Kentucky had all those injuries at tailback a year ago, and he came through for them. They say, Vern, that he runs a 4.21 40, and Alphonso Smith runs a 4.24 40. You know what I think they should do? Remeasure the 40.
You think it's about 37 yards?
Yeah, I know, 39.2 or something. That's pretty fast.
Second down, Locke. Here's Hartline, goes right. Pass is complete and close to the first down. Years ago, Gary, years ago, the Cowboys drafted a kid out of Mississippi Valley State named David McDaniel. They thought he ran a 4.340, and they had measured him. He came out to training camp at Thousand Oaks, and he was like a 4.7 guy.
It's wrong.
And
It wasn't 40 yards.
no, it was 35.
There, Cody. Doesn't matter what he runs.
No. Terrence Cody weighed in at 430 pounds a year ago, was given weight limits were he to be recruited by Alabama. He met every weight reduction goal they gave him. Here's the toss. It's Locke coming left. And that's good for a first down on 3rd and 1. Well, they call him Mount Cody, number 62, Terrence Cody, 6'5", 365 now. 18 shoe size.
Oh, man. I was over there in practice with Tracy, and I were watching walkthroughs in practice Thursday, and they just had their shorts on. He's well built from the waist down. I mean, he's got a gut like an NFL nose tackle, but he's well built in his legs.
First down, 10. Left side, Roark. Dropped it. Incomplete. Matt Roark defended by Kareem Jackson. Outdoor version of 3-on-3.
Yeah, one of 4 true freshmen that are making some type of impact for Kentucky here. 6'6", and Roark goes up and almost Julio Jones it on that one.
Second down and 10. Locke is still in, so also is Tony Dixon now. And they spread them out. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Hand off up the middle to Locke.
Really like that play call for Kentucky. One of the really strong suits of a Nick Saban defense is that nickel package. They're as complicated. I watched game tapes of them. They're really hard to figure out. You can't really tell in pre-read. But when you do it, you have to play the odds. You're better off throwing strong side than weak side. 4-on-3 is a better number than 3-on-2 to the weak side. So you're better off throwing to the wide side of the field than the short side of the field.
On 3rd and 6, Hartline got him. 4th down. Bobby Greenwood, number 93, with the tackle.
Here it is. This it is. You've got 3 guys on this side. 1, 2, 3. And you've got 4 guys on the other side playing coverage. You're better off going down to the strong side of the field. But those combos, those combo coverages are tough to read. And it gives that front 4 1 extra second to give there.
Mastay is on to punt.
Oh, tough one. Got to catch it. You got to catch that. Whoa. It cost you.
It was Tidlochka, the pooch punter, on instead of Mastay. Seven 0 Alabama. All right, thank you, Tim. 7-0 here. 5:55 to go in the first quarter of play. McCall, the tight end, goes to the left side. They hand it to Coffey. He follows McCall's block. Big hole. And a flag thrown. Well, Alabama, in winning its first 5 games, has never trailed. They're up right now, 7-0.
That usually leads to an undefeated record. I don't.
You figured that out.
Yeah, past experience tells me.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 95 on the defense. That penalty is 15 yards to the end of the run. First down.
Ventrell Jenkins.
Now remember, there's no incidental face mask this year. There it is. Got the grab, and he turned his head down with it. That's a good call. And the way I would believe that Kentucky's offense will struggle to score, that's why it's so important to keep Alabama from coming off their own goal line.
Roy Upchurch is in at running back now for the Crimson Tide. John Parker Wilson fakes. Oh, he's got a man deep. He's got a man way downfield, and the ball is held up. Marquise Mays was the intended receiver, and there was a moment when he was a good yard behind the defender.
Yeah, and then this has just happened sometimes. I mean, John Parker really slowed the play-action pass here. Watch him. Big, hard, strong fake here to hold everyone. But then by the time he lets the ball go, bottom of the screen, actually McCoy outruns the football. And you know, it happens to us all sometimes. And that's the speed guy. When you talk to the Alabama coaches, they say McCoy is our speed guy, and John Parker held it too long.
Marquise Mays. McCoy out of the ball game, and here's the handoff. And over the left side, tripped. And it'll leave second down. Well, Nick Saban said yesterday afternoon when we chatted with him, we're going to need big plays in this game.
Yeah, he kind of almost let the cat out of the bag. Kentucky is coached by Steve Brown, who actually played for Nick for the Houston Oilers when I played against Steve, defensive back where Nick coached him. And he knows what Steve's going to say. He's going to give us 8 in the box. They're going to play man coverage. The hint was we're going to try to take some deep shots.
He's taken a couple. One of 40 yards was called back, and that one just did miss. Here's John Parker Wilson. Left side has his man. That's Nikita Stover, number 9, in front of Randall Burden. Steve Brown, defensive coordinator. Fine defensive back for years in the NFL.
Yep. Real competitor. You know, back in the days, he played for Jerry Glanville. He used to have to play that bump and run all over the field out there. It's kind of fun to go at him all the time. Real competitive, and he has that same style of playing man coverage and loading the box and forcing Alabama to try to beat him with the pass.
The freshman Mark Ingram in a tailback. Here's Mays coming right, breaks the tackle, and gets out of bounds. Maybe a 1-yard gain to the 42-yard line. Trevard Lindley forced him out, so they try the end around.
Everybody was talking coming up to this game of whether Alabama would, have a letdown. Here's how I see this. It's not like Alabama's running a high wire act. I mean, so far, they've just been walking right down the sidewalk. Nobody's forced them to do it. It's hard to fall off the sidewalk. If you do the high wire and throw it around, you can have off games. But until you force them off the sidewalk, they're not likely to have a letdown.
Wilson goes left. Whoa! And there is a flag on the far side of the field. Braxton Kelly made the tackle on Mark Ingram. False start, Alabama.
I'll probably decline that one, I would assume.
Well, recent Alabama letdowns in 2007, they defeated Tennessee to go 6-2. And then take a look. They defeated Clemson and survived against Tulane the following week. And then last week, and this Nick Saban admits it was a good coaching point for him when they felt, they became a little lackluster in the second half.
How could you not? I mean, it was 31-0. You're in there buying, tickets to Miami.
Third down. Hand off to Mark Ingram. Oh, what a cut! What a cut by the freshman running back, Mark Ingram.
This play should have been stopped. I watched tape on this guy. He's a true freshman. He has the best lateral jump. Look at this. Watch him go from one side, and I watch him cut to the outside. Look at that. You just don't teach this stuff. Big, fast, great lateral moves. You watch him on tape. It's amazing the way he runs the football.
36-yard gain for Ingram. This one leads to nothing at the 22-yard line.
Alabama was basically given up there. They were willing. They didn't want to throw an interception, and they run a draw play for a big play.
Ingram comes out. Earl Alexander, the wide receiver, goes on the field to replace Julio Jones. Look at this, rushing yards, 130 to 11.
Alabama's still on the sidewalk. They're just walking right down the sidewalk.
You're right. Second down and 10. Left side. That's a gain of 3, perhaps 4. You know, the rushing leaders in the SEC, you see Alabama with 215 yards. Vanderbilt, Vandy, how about that?
Yeah, they do it differently. They have a little trick-em type offense. You know, Alabama and LSU are mirror images of each other, and gee, I wonder why.
Do they have anything in common?
Yeah, I'll tell you what they do have in common. Watching Alabama practice so far, big, rangy football players.
Third down, 7-0. 2:05 to go.
Great
First
play
quarter.
by John Parker. He saw an illegal formation and changed it.
John Parker Wilson comes right. Julio Jones, it's knocked down, and so that will lead to a field goal attempt from Lee Tiffin, who's 8 of 10 this year. Trevard Lindley, as we mentioned, he's the best cornerback on this Kentucky team.
Yeah, and he's been through the wars, and that's a good matchup for Kentucky. I know Jones is a good player, but Lindley has faced them all. Last year, the LSU receivers, the Florida receivers, I mean, he's faced them all. He doesn't have a backup step in him. Well, I guess for a corner he does, but I mean, you know what I mean. He doesn't kind of faint when he sees a receiver running at him.
Lee Tiffin from 35 yards out. Fitzgerald is the holder. Tiffin 8 of 10, first this year. That one is no good.
Wow. That reminded me of the Arkansas one a couple years ago, right there for Tiffin.
Lee Tiffin had a disastrous day in Arkansas a couple of years back. This one a miss from 35 yards out.
Yeah, this one really just never came in. It went dead straight and wide.
Alabama still leads it, but now only by 7. To 0 yards rushing. So far, Kentucky 11 yards on the ground on 5 carries. Alfonso Smith is now the running back. Looked like they were thinking about a reverse, Gary. I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither, to tell you the truth.
And the nose tackle in there, Terrence Cody. For more on him, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, Vern, you mentioned earlier he went from 430 pounds to 365. How did he do it? He lost 2 to 3 pounds per week. He worked with a nutritionist to plan his menu and educate him. He's now eating a healthy breakfast, which keeps his metabolism up, cuts out the sugars and the calorie, and he uses a pod, which is a machine that measures his metabolic rate and counts calories. Coaches say it is a huge reason he's been so effective out there.
Huge reason seems appropriate. Hartline, incomplete, intended for Dickie Lyons Jr., the senior who has 25 catches for the season. Terrence Cody at nose guard.
Well, obviously his size and the stunts that they're going to put around Cody, he's what they call a two-gap player. That's kind of the basis of the Nick Saban defense. He's allowed to take 2 gaps. And believe me, he almost lines up in 2 gaps.
3rd and 10. He's on the bench now. Blitz by Alabama. Hartline. Whoa, he lost it. Fumble. Picked up. Touchdown, Alabama. Rolando McCain, 1 bounce.
I'm not saying Alabama isn't impressive. I'm just saying that Kentucky can't get out of their way here so far. I mean, that was a very safe call from Joker Phillips. It was going to be a screen pass. And for Hartline that time, the ball just slips out of his hands. They were ready to punt the ball.
Tiffin with the extra point.
Missed it again.
My gosh. There's a flag down on the near side. Tiffin off to a disastrous start.
Well, he adjusted it. That's my golf game. My slice went out of bounds right. I hook went out of bounds left.
Been there.
Yeah.
Straight. Offside. number 33 of the defense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. We will replay the try.
It's Calvin Harrison, number 33. And Tiffin gets a reprieve.
I wonder if he was lined up in the neutral zone. He was the second guy from the bottom right there, and apparently he was lined up offsides.
High snap. Hold is down. This kick is good. Mike Hartline with a fumble. McLean with the recovery and a touchdown.
Very safe call, and I think the correct call for Kentucky here. Blitz, no problem, plenty of time, and the ball just slips right out of your hand. Remember, each team is allowed to bring their own football for their own offense, so nothing new about it. It should have been very comfortable.
Anybody watching that think of Ed Hockley?
Yeah, Ed did.
Mike Hartline getting his first season as a starter, and the mistake, the ball came right out of his grasp. Touchdown, Alabama.
And Kentucky just can't get out of their comfort zone here. They have to look at the long run. They have to run their offense. They're just not equipped to go at. Listen, Matthew Stafford can't do it against this package. Kentucky's not ready.
Lee Tiffin will kick off. Taken by Derek Locke. He comes left. And is cut down at the 23-yard line. Chris Jordan.
Well, we looked and we looked and we looked. Nobody knocked it out of his hands. This was Mike just trying to get the dump off. So he was going to be a screen to the left side of the screen. Just lets it go. And boy, that is a tough one. Do that every day in practice, and it kind of just squirted out of his hand.
Final minute, first quarter. Hartline comes left this time. He's got a man in some room. It's Locke. Rashad Johnson makes the tackle up at the 34-yard line. And let's go back to the studio for this Liberty neutral. This is now Vern. Tim, I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, it's amazing they could play in such relative anonymity. No wide right three this year. First down and 10. It's Locke. And Terrence Cody is a huge reason why that one didn't work.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, man, last year Glenn Dorsey was hurt all year, so he was maybe 60% of a player. This year, Cody is not nicked. Look at this. The guy moves, runs right through Gonzalez's block that time. Gonzalez said, Coach, I thought you told me he was a two-gap guy, was just going to stand there. That quickness. You know, his ninth grade coach said he's going to be a $2 million a year player someday when he was in ninth grade. That might be a little low.
Oh, Alabama leads at 14-0. We welcome you back to Tuscaloosa, Bryant-Denny Stadium, the SEC on CBS. Alabama up by 14 as we start the second quarter. They have not only not trailed this year, look at their domination in previous first quarters. They've now scored 88 points, zipped for the opposition. And Kentucky has the ball as we begin number 2, second down. Hartline play fake, looking left all the way, and overthrows a receiver on the left side. Well, Rich Brooks said to us, our defense is leading us, Gary. We have some offensive difficulties. We have seen that manifest today.
I sure have, and then couple that with having tough plays yourself. You know, it's one thing punting and making Alabama go the whole way. Your defense might hold up. Now you're giving them plays. Now, Alabama, when you're going against them with an offense, I don't know exactly where Kentucky goes here now if they get too far behind. You know, they just don't have the experience at wide receiver than they did a year ago, nor at quarterback.
Well, they look now at a third down. Derek Locke is in there. Hartline has it. Four-man rush. They almost got to him. Eric Anders with the pressure, and let's go down to Tracy.
Guys, after that fumble on the previous drive, Hartline came off slamming his helmet, frustrated. But that's what he told us this week. His biggest problem has been letting his emotions get to him. And he said he cannot let that happen, especially against Alabama. This is when he has to remember those words and just forget the fumble and move on and play safe.
Well, his older brother Brian, of course, a prominent wide receiver at Ohio State, probably watching up in Wisconsin and grimaced at that play. 4th down. Maste back to punt. And Arenas drifts back. Whoa! Flag is down. This may be interference with the opportunity to make a catch. Winston Guy might have gotten a little too close.
Yeah, Arenas doesn't take a fair catch, and Nick Saban is irate. They went for the punt block. He's got no blocking over there, and he tries to catch it without a fair catch. He got away with one. He got away with this one, but will he get it away for the next one? I mean, that's just not championship football. You do it when you have a return on, not when you're trying to block the punt. You know, the Kentucky players looked like they were coming down like...
Kick catch interference. Number 29 on the kicking team. That penalty is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Yeah, see, it looked like Kentucky's punter was a little slow the first time. I even noticed this. So second time, Alabama comes after the block. Get it off. Good, fine punt. But no, there's 9 guys rushing the punter. Who's there to block? No one. And you get 2 players coming in there in a bump, and it's going to cost you. Mistakes. We've seen this before.
Wonderful way. I'm thinking of Chris Schenkel. What a way to spend an autumn afternoon. Getting a ride through the crowd. 14-0. Wildcats today, 41 penalty yards, 25 yards of offense.
Right.
John Parker Wilson off to a bit of a slow start, only 1 of his first 5. He'll throw on 1st down with a lot of time. Deep right side, man wide open. Julio Jones. This week, Dave's all new with Bill Murray, Deborah Messing, Dennis Quaid, and Jeremy Piven. Plus Monday, don't miss Russell Crowe, only on CBS.
The key phrase on that last one, Vern, was all day to throw. That was a very slow developing pass play. John Parker says, boy, I wish it was like this my first 2 years playing quarterback.
Well, he has become the all-time passing leader in a variety of categories now. And think about the names, the great quarterbacks who played here. Here's Ingram going right.
Look at this guy.
John Parker Wilson grew up an Alabama fan. Mom was a cheerleader here. Went to Hoover High School. He wanted to play here from the time he first attended a game here. And now he owns most of the records. And you think back to Joe Willie Namath. There's his mother. And
hope it's the one in the middle.
Chances are good.
Yep. You know, John Parker has been through it all and seen it all, and he says he's ready for whatever comes. That's key.
He said he'd experienced everything as a quarterback here. Comes, almost picked off, and then it's grabbed for a completion by Nick Walker, the tight end, number 88. Sam Maxwell appeared to have an interception.
Jumped the route, was ready for the route. It's kind of the style of Kentucky defense is to play tight man-to-man coverage. He was ready for this one, goes across, and can that defense for Kentucky make a play? Now remember, second game of the year after Alabama kind of trounced Clemson. They were up 13-0 against Tulane. That game kind of lost its kind of energy, and they ended up winning 26. So, you know, will they again lose their patience and edge and get Kentucky back in the game?
3rd and 1, and John Parker Wilson. He's got him. It's Walker, the tight end. Inside the 20.
Nice job by play calling this time, Jim McElwain. Listen, he says everybody's seen us run the ball. Watch this guy right down here. There's 15 yards in the open. Right there, tight end slips out. Walker's there. Parker had a little pressure in his face, kind of backed up and just threw it up where just his guy could get it. Nice play call.
Jim McElwain, the new offensive coordinator here. He is the 3rd offensive coordinator to coach John Parker Wilson. Last year, Major Applewhite was here for 1 year, took the job at Texas. Previous regime, Dave Rader had the job. Here's Mark Ingram, and he may have lost a yard. And John Parker Wilson, 13 of 16 last week, a very efficient game in that huge win at Georgia. He's improved his percentage. Yards per game have gone down. Touchdown to interception ratio, quite good, and the rating, which Gary will now explain.
I know. No, here's what I say, though. It's like me when I was in a spelling bee. You know, as long as they stuck to the 4-letter words, I was okay. Right now, John Parker's never got anything, you know, I mean, 4, 5, he was fine. You know, you get to the double syllables, 8-letter words, then he has a problem.
Here's the toss and a wide open run by Ingram to the 10. Let's see if he got enough for the first down. It is a gain of 8. Robbie McAtee, number 36, who had the touchdown saving tackle at the 1 against in the win over Middle Tennessee State, makes the tackle.
Left side, everybody. Oh, Andre Smith does a wonderful job. Number 71 right there. Reaches to the outside and hooks his man. Watch big Andre right there. Reach outside and hook his man. Get his feet around the corner. Good block by Travis McCall. And you sprint to the outside. Alabama total control of this football game.
Glenn Coffey back in on 3rd down and 3. Coffey gets the handoff, comes left. Cuts inside. There is a fumble, and Kentucky has recovered Robbie McAtee. Only the 4th fumble lost in the first 5.5 games for Alabama.
Well, I just said total control of this football game, and then they hand it right back. See if somebody puts a hand on it. Actually, a stumble that time, and he runs right into the helmet. It wasn't a helmet hit. A stumble, and puts the football right into a fallen defender that time and causes the helmet to hit the ball right on to cause the fumble.
CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this word from your local station.
First one's over so I can watch the unit. That's what I...
Really?
Oh, best show on TV.
Ah.
Do not miss the unit.
Well, now, we watched The Amazing Race last week and kind of got caught up in that.
Start watching the unit.
How about us for gratuitous promotion?
No, I'm honest here. It's a great show.
First down and 10. Hartline in the end zone, flags down, pre-snap penalties. So dead ball foul here.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 52 on the offense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Early in the year, Kentucky had another weapon, Randall Cobb, a great high school athlete, quarterback, number 18. He's kind of behind the two guys. There he is, number 18. He's out with a bad ankle. He would have given Kentucky a change of pace at that position in this game.
Also can play wide receiver, but he's got the high ankle sprain. On 1st and 13. Oh, man, brother. Josh Chapman, number 99, made the first contact.
Let me try to do a little teaching. There are, in this group, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8 gaps, okay?
Okay.
When you have one guy, Cody, that takes up 2 of them, that means there's only 6 to cover. You win the numbers game every time.
Alphonso Smith on the sweep left, gets a good block, but excellent pursuit by the Alabama defense. He's down at the 10. We go back to Tim Brando in New York. All right, Tim.
Because of that, Vern, because you're able to take 2 gaps up front, it allows Alabama to keep their safeties back. They don't need the 8th man up.
On 3rd down, Hartline.
Oh, man.
Through the hands of, almost intercepted. Ali Sharif, number 26, had the best chance at grabbing that. So Kentucky now 1 of 5, excuse me, on third down.
It's really difficult to throw the ball to the weak side. You have 2 receivers and 3 defenders. Your odds are better to the other side of the field. See, it's 3 on 2 instead of 4 on 3. The numbers are better to the wide side. You're going to get these combo coverages all day, and you can't read them right. It's really tough to do.
On fourth down, Mastay is on.
Yeah, look at the fair catch.
Yes, that ball hadn't crossed the 30, and Arenas was waving his arm.
I think he knows who's in charge. He read Forbes magazine.
Forbes announced that Nick Saban was the most powerful coach in sports.
Javier knows it.
Arenas wrote the blurb for the magazine.
Back here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama up 14-zip. Andre Smith, guys, the star of the Alabama O-line, on that last fumble came off, holding his left elbow. He went right to the bench. He tried to bend it back and forth a few times. He squeezed the trainer's hands to test the strength of it. They've added a black brace. He is back out there. No word, though, on how severe it is.
Okay, thank you, Trace. Roy Upchurch is in a tailback now.
Still man coverage from Kentucky. They're attacking the line of scrimmage.
John Parker Wilson, 4 of 8 here in the first half. Oh, that one tipped in the line. Incomplete. Myron Pryor tipped it. And it's time now to cue the duck. The Aflac trivia question of the week, and here it is. Prior to last weekend, when was the last time that Florida, Tennessee, and Georgia all lost on the same day?
Wow.
That kind of
Yeah.
put everything in the SEC East into a mixed bag, didn't it?
Well, there was the thought that the SEC East was tougher, but so far it appears it's the West that has a little more strength.
LSU, of course, with a big win at Auburn, and Alabama undefeated. They will play each other. Here's Upchurch. Now let's check the East standings now. Of course, Vandy 4-0 for the season, 2-0 in conference play. The Gators lose at home to Ole Miss. Georgia gets demolished by this Alabama team. Kentucky playing its first SEC game today. And out west, Alabama and LSU, they do meet in Baton Rouge a little later in the season.
Gee, that might be an interesting game.
But you know, you think maybe we could book that one?
that could have. Look at John Parker in charge of this offense. Moving guys around, seeing illegal formations. The ability to have an experienced quarterback in college football is just so valuable.
And he uses one of the timeouts for Alabama. They lead it by 14. That is still popular, isn't it?
Yep.
Bear Bryant. Alabama leads it 14-0 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. This facility opened 79 years ago tomorrow, October 5th, 1929. 12,000 filled the place then. 92,000 are here. And a ticket, Gary, costs $2.50.
Yeah. 1929? Ooh, I don't like that.
John Parker Wilson nailed all the way back at the 45 of Alabama. Myron Pryor, number 98.
Yeah, he had a great game. Watch the tape against Louisville. A great game against Louisville. And I'm just not talking the fumble recovery. Inside front four. The back guy, he tries to get cut inside. Mike Johnson tries to cut Pryor. Can't do that to a good athlete, that defensive tackle. And Pryor shows why a lot of people think he's an NFL player playing defensive tackle.
Nick Saban shared with us yesterday his impression of Myron Pryor. He said about that game against Louisville, that's as good a game by a defensive lineman as he has seen in years. Here's P.J. Fitzgerald with a punt on fourth down. Dickie Lyons Jr. moves up, grabs it. Well, about the reaction of the crowd.
Well, I'll tell you, our boy Lyons, Dickie Lyons, kind of, I think, sensed that his team needed a little spark. Now, he's given hits like this. Now watch, he doesn't fair catch, and now he takes a hit like boom. Remember he had that one against Stelz against LSU?
Yes.
That was one very similar to that. He's kind of, to me, the ultra ego of this team. In a way, last year I kind of thought he was the class clown. But this year he seems to be more of a leader, and he is tough as nails.
Well, he said last year they had 6 senior leaders on offense, and he could be loose. This year, he's got a different role. And Dickie Lyons Jr. came in with 25 catches for the season. He's from New Orleans, Louisiana, and he's been quite a player for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Great personality, a better football player than people think. He's not just a, little white possession receiver like people like to stereotype him. He can make it, but here's the hit. Watch this hit. Oh! That just lit up his football team. He has the ability to do that for this team.
2nd down, 8. Hartline behind the intended receiver. That's the tight end, Maurice Grinter, number 40. And it brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, pressure came inside that time. I think it was Hightower that got into Hartline's face, number 30. I mean, they've got 2 big, rangy linebackers inside in Rolando McClain and Dante Hightower. One's a true sophomore and the other's a true freshman. And they're in the body type that Nick loves. Big, tall, rangy guys.
Alfonso Smith is behind, alongside of Hartline now. 3 wide, 2 to the right, 1 to the left on 3rd down. Wentz coming.
Yep.
Up the middle, try to set up the screen.
That was
incomplete.
holding.
Yes.
That was holding. They're going to get it, too. Easy to see. Delayed screen, going to be right here, and watch, he gets held. It's called a key blitz. You blitz, and then you cover the guy that blocks you right there. And when he gets held once, he gets held twice on the same play. That's pretty funny.
Holding. Number 25 on the defense on an eligible receiver doing a legal forward pass play. That penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot and carries an automatic 1st down.
And you know what else it carries? It allows, I think now, that Kentucky has a chance to get out of this half alive. Okay, they still got 7 more minutes. But, if they could get points on the board, even a field goal, and survive this quick start by Alabama, they're still in the game. Here comes the bear look.
Yep.
Crowding the line of scrimmage. What will Hartline do?
There's the audible. Deep left side, man coverage. Kareem Jackson is covering, and the pass is incomplete. And we take this moment to go back once again to Tim Brando in New York. All right, Tim, thank you. It's 14-0 here and a 2nd down 10. Hartline only 3 of 11 for 22 yards. He's missed his last 5. Across the middle, got this one. This is E.J. Adams, number 17, and he's got a 1st down just across midfield.
I think that's where you have to throw the ball against this Alabama defense. They have so many combo coverages to the outside. You're better off coming across the middle and attacking the linebackers. E.J. Adams, remember last year, started the Florida game that we did at corner.
Yep. Now, Rich Brooks was talking about his offense. He said, I don't have a problem with my quarterback. It's the guys around my quarterback. 4 of the 8 receivers for Kentucky are true freshmen. There have been a lot of drops, a lot of wrong routes run.
That could be Arenas, could get 15
yes,
again.
Indeed.
That's
that was
right.
a left jab, wasn't it?
Could be 15 more. Boy, look, Nick is just irate. See, that's losing your focus. That's thinking you're so good that there's no way you can lose a football game. That's what's being kind of a letdown. That's what they're talking about.
After the play was over, multiple fouls. Personal foul on the defense. Number 28, unnecessary roughness. After the play was over, personal foul. Number 8 on the offense. Those penalties offset.
Wow.
The result of the play stands.
Well, you and I certainly saw the left jab from Arenas.
Okay, Demario Ford, he gets, well, actually, Ford hits him first. Arenas hits him back. And then what happens? Well, I kind of saw it the other way, to tell you the truth. I thought Ford had his hand in Arenas' face, and Arenas hit him. Not the way it was explained.
On 2nd down, Hartline back, good block. Drop. There's one of the drops.
Over the middle. Now DeMario Ford, who has the penalty, maybe he's not quite concentrating, thinking about the last one. Let's go back again and look at that. Ford has his face mask, his hand in Javier's face. Now watch this. One push, that's okay. Now the next one's in the face, right there. Now Javier hits back. That seems to be the end of it to me. They both get called. That's a fair play. But then he comes back on the next one and drops the pass that could have been a first down.
And it sets up 3rd and 3 from the 40. Timeout. Kentucky uses its first. With 6:25 to go, Rich Brooks will have a chat with his quarterback, Mike Hartline. Nick Saban's not going to have a chat with Javier Arenas. 6:25 to go, 14-0, and a 3rd down forthcoming for Kentucky.
Key player Rashad Johnson, number 49, is located right there. He moves all around this field. He's very tough to read. You kind of not spend a lot of time with him because he really plays with your mind. There he goes, moving around again.
Hartline back. McClain got blocked, but the pass complete. No first down. Ali Sharif, number 26.
Yeah, I think it was Javier Arenas
Yes,
the one that came up to make the play. Alabama plays combo coverage. They don't just play zone. They have men and they have rules. Vern, I watched 2 full games. I didn't see them line up on defense wrong one time.
Really?
Not one time. That's how well coached they are on defense.
Of course, Saban, years ago, a defensive back at Kent State, and of course, one-time coordinator with the Browns.
Remember, that drop pass would have been a first down.
Yes. Here's the pooch punter.
Beautiful.
Tidlachka. And you got an unfortunate bounce if you're a Kentucky fan into the end zone.
Tremendous play by Javier Arenas, baiting the catch, and Kentucky never found the ball. Tim Brando, tell us.
All right, fellas. Gary, I got it. All right, thank you, Tim. Handoff. Quick opener, left side, all the way out to the nearly the 30-yard line. Now let's take a look at Home Depot's tools for success.
And I tell you, when this running game is going, it's like a big old hammer. It works every time. You know, the power cord, you don't have to have a power cord for a hammer. You just take it out of the toolbox and you use it every week, and that's what Alabama's been doing with that running game.
There's a handoff to Ingram. That's why I enjoy hanging with you. I learned so much about things around the house.
Yeah, hammer. I know about it. That's about it as far as I go.
David Jones made the tackle. 4:50 to go in the first half. Coffee, 78 of those 106 yards on the one of the touchdowns. The other one came on a fumble recovery taken in from the 5-yard line by Rolando McClain.
Well, the missed field goal and the fumble going in has let Kentucky kind of get their sea legs in this football game. It's taken a long time. Yeah, there's going to be something wrong.
Second timeout taken by Alabama. Well, it's going to give Nick Saban a coaching opportunity at halftime. Going to make a reappearance here. The answer to the Aflac trivia question. Prior to last week, when was the last time Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee all lost on the same day? Those of you who've selected October 15th, 94, go to the bank. Florida lost to Auburn, Georgia to Vanderbilt, Tennessee to Alabama. Look at the bottom line.
Yeah.
They split divisions in 92.
And it's been dominated, but, you know, those 3 teams that have a great record against them, and they all lost last week. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Who would have thunk it, huh?
Certainly not the 2 of us.
Yeah, this is huge for Kentucky. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half. If they could get a stop here, they could stay in this football game.
Glenn Coffey is the running back. Huber is the fullback. Nope, it's McCall. They come left behind McCall's block. He's got to turn.
Got a hold, though. There's a hold.
And a
going to come
flag
back.
at the 25.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
indeed.
going to come back.
Was it McCall with a hold or inside?
I couldn't tell if it was Andre Smith or McCall, to tell you the truth, but I saw the grab. You can't do it. That official's right there looking at it at the end. You might be able to get away with it inside at guard, but not at tackle and end. They're going to see it every time.
Well, either 71 or 83.
Holding. Number 71 on the offense. That penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay third down.
Kind of some lazy play so far by the big guy, Smith, here. To the outside, he holds Jenkins right there. He got that left hand outside the body of the frame right there. Whoops, my fault. Didn't get it cleared in time. But he had that arm outside the frame. That will get seen pretty easily.
So Alabama has a first down negated by the penalty on the previous possession. Kentucky had a first down, but a drop pass forced them into a punt. Coffee is still the running back. John Parker Wilson backs up, goes deep right side to the comeback route. Wow. Julio Jones, how about the timing on that play?
Absolutely beautiful play. This is called a locked comeback against bump and run coverage. The defender, this time it's Lindley, thinks Jones is going to go deep, but you lock on the comeback. The ball is thrown to the outside. The defender never sees it. Jones does it. Now remember, that's maybe one of the best defensive backs in the SEC against a true freshman, and that's a huge first down. Notice Kentucky didn't change their style. They played man-to-man on 3rd and long.
And a 23-yard gain gives Alabama a first down. Here's Coffee, gets the toss and goes right and works his way out near the 50. Boy, I agree with you. That was such a big defensive potential stop.
Yep, it was.
Yep.
Now, Coffey's at 115 or so yards, had 162, as Vern told you earlier, against Arkansas. He's averaging 98. And, you know, outside of maybe Charles Scott, Coffey is turning out to be, you know, the go-to back in this conference right now.
Coffey, the junior out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida, emerging in this his junior year.
A little competition from a freshman. Mark Ingram might have kind of got his attention.
Terry Grant, who was the leading rusher last year, has been relegated to almost token appearances. Now here's John Parker Wilson, flag down.
Yeah, going to get holding again.
Yes, indeed. Now Drew Davis was in the area of the flag.
I think it was. Yes, I think it was.
Number 79.
You know, I told you this front for Kentucky is legit. You know, they're like LSU, they're like Ole Miss. I'd say Kentucky's right with them. Tennessee's front is that good. South Carolina is.
Holding. Number 79 on the offense. That penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Well, we got our guy right here, top of the screen, one-on-one. Let's see what happens. Gets to the outside, tries to go an arm under, and yeah, he kind of rallies him down from behind, and the head referee makes that call. That's his call, the right tackle.
That's 5 penalties for 50 yards, and coming into this game, Alabama not penalized that often. They'd given up only 25 yards a game, 18 penalties in all. Here's John Parker Wilson, screen pass, left side, caught by Coffey. A little bit of a tangle, but he squirts out of difficulty and moves the ball to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 15.
Well, it was a kind of an easy call for Alabama. You know, after a sack, what do you call, Vern, after somebody sacks you? Screen.
Screen pass.
Here they come. They're coming at us. Let's try to help our offensive line. Again, Kentucky in that man-to-man coverage. They're attacking this game. You got to give them credit for it. They're not backing off and kind of letting everything happen in front of them. They're attacking and letting their front four try to make some plays.
Mark Ingram gives Coffey a rest. And John Parker Wilson now 6 of 11 for 92 yards. Second down, 5. Look at all the time. Nobody open. So he chugs up the middle and is down at the 45-yard line.
Remember, Alabama only has one timeout because of the 2 they had to waste early in the first half.
Third down, 1:20 to go. Wilson.
Oh, Julio Jones, but this time Lindley gets him.
Yes, Trevard Lindley knocked it down, and it'll be 4th and 6.
You know what I like about Jones is he runs very sharp routes. Watching him in film. Now watch this. You know, man-to-man now, you got to win. Top of the screen, number 8 against 32. Come out, sharp route. Watch, 90 degrees. That's perfect. Sometimes the other guy wins. Good throw, good protection, good coverage. Defense won that one. And boy, is this a good turn of events for Kentucky.
DeMario Ford is back to return the punt now.
Just can't make a mistake catching this punt. You got to be conservative. You're not going to go 80 yards against Alabama anyway.
Little pressure applied from the right side.
Catch.
Yep.
Let it go.
And it will hop into the end zone.
A 46-yard run into the end zone. Touchback. First and 10.
Well, tomorrow, JB has the lowdown on Pat's quarterback.
Went there late, stayed late to watch him practice. Somebody will find you if you can play.
First down for Kentucky. 1:04 to go. Handed off on the draw play. And the tackle made by Rolando McCain on Alphonso Smith, a junior from Louisville.
I don't really get what Kentucky's doing here, hurrying up. You just don't. You don't want to have to punt again. They're not going 80 yards. Can't make a mistake.
Amen. Left side, it's caught by Grinter, the tight end. And Kareem Jackson, number 3, makes the tackle. 37 seconds remaining.
Now, see what's going to happen here is if they don't make it here on third down, Nick Saban will call timeout, and they'll be forced to punt.
Hartline out of Canton, Ohio. Played in 4 games last year. Mentioned his brother Brian is at Ohio State.
Yeah, I might do this if I had Andre Woodson or John Parker, but this is a young kid at quarterback here.
They hand it off.
We're going to take, Alabama will take a timeout. I'd be shocked if they don't.
They do have one left.
He's going to, Nick will see if they made it and get a measurement first. Draw play, safe play, but now the safe play, because Alabama only has one timeout. See, if you'd ran the ball on second down, you would have forced a timeout there and you could have got out of the half.
It will be 4th down.
And Alabama will take a timeout, won't they?
Yes. Time called with 24 seconds to go in the half.
For 3 of those teams, it's a must-win game. Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida have to win.
Maste is on to punt. Javier Arenas back at the 30-yard line.
Go for the return.
Arenas grabs it, breaks the first tackle. Breaks another. Down at the 50 with 12 seconds to go. Darrell Faulkner, number 40, makes the stop. A 20-yard return, and 2 players are down for Kentucky. Well, now
they hit into each other. Actually, they just collided as Javier caught the ball and exploded forward. The 2 Kentucky players run into each other. And I'll tell you, guarantee you, Rick Brooks had his heart in his mouth saying, no, please don't run this thing back. Watch them collide behind Javier, run into each other right as Arenas takes that punt. And now remember, Julio Jones out there is the big receiver. You're going to see a Big Ben. Kentucky almost had this happen to him earlier in this season, end of the game.
Middle Tennessee State. John Parker Wilson back. Flag, this one will come back, and it should have been intercepted. Shamari Moore, number 23, had it slip through his fingers and holding.
Is that the 4th of the game?
Yes.
Or something, 4th or 5th of the game. Drew Davis. Alabama's having a bit of an off game. They're not hitting on all cylinders in this football game. Kentucky's good, but
number 79 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
I'll go back to our conversation at the very beginning of this ball game. They had the huge win at Georgia.
Right.
Nick Saban said, great may be the enemy of good. I mean, because if you're good, you can get satisfied with where you are. He was worried about that all week long.
This I don't quite understand what they're going to do here if they don't throw deep. They're just going to get out of the half. Yep. Good play. Yeah, I think this is a big half for Kentucky. And this game could have been ugly. It could have been 24-0. It's only 14-0.
The end of the first half. Alabama 14, Kentucky 0.
The SEC on CBS Bryant-Denny Stadium. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson. 14-0. Alabama leads it. They will kick off. Kentucky receives the football to open the third quarter. 14-0. Tiffin will kick off. Derek Locke is one of two deep men. He's joined back near the goal line by Alphonso Smith. This will be Smith at the 5. And out to the 27-yard line to open this game. 14-0, Gary, and it appeared early on Alabama was just going to run away with this thing in the first half. Have we seen a lack of focus, you think, by the Crimson Tide?
I suppose so. I think the thing is maybe the penalties kind of did that. You know, without the turnover and the missed field goal, though, you know, it's 24-0. I think the key thing here is if it's going to be a football game, Kentucky has to find a way to find some offense. What I would do is go back to basics, run the ball, and attack the two young inside linebackers with short play-action passes over the middle. That's what I'd do.
Hartline at quarterback, empty backfield. Stunts by the defense. He goes across the middle. And very close by Rashad Johnson to being intercepted. Just before we began the third quarter, Tracy Wolfson talked with Nick Saban about lack of focus.
Is this a letdown for your team so far?
Well, I don't think we're playing with the intensity that we've been playing with. We started the game that way. You know, we got ahead 14-0. We left 10 points off the board with a missed field goal and fumbling the ball on the 3-yard line. And to me, when you get penalties, it shows a lack of discipline and a lack of focus and a lack of ability to execute, which all comes from mental energy. So that tells you right there that we're not playing the kind of football we're capable of. We need to get it turned around in this half.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Hartline under center. Quick setup, right side. He's hit as he lets it go, and it did affect the throw intended for Adams.
Bobby Greenwood was the guy that freed up and put the hit. Now, this is just a 3-step drop. Two guys inside are forced to take Cody, what means to the outside, Bobby Greenwood, number 93, is going to come in untouched. The tight end doesn't block him. The running back doesn't block him. I can guarantee you there's no design out there that doesn't block number 93.
Kentucky, excuse me, Gary.
Busted assignment, my fault.
1 of 8 on third downs. Adams and Lyons both go wide to the right. Roark is wide left. 4 down for Alabama. Hartline under pressure again, gets rid of it. Locke with a spin move and fights out. He's going to be just short of the first down. Marquise Johnson, number 24, makes the tackle on Derek Locke. First half trends.
Yeah, you look at Coffee had, of course, the big run for the 1 touchdown for Alabama on offense. Self-inflicted wound for Kentucky. Alabama, though, had their own wounds. Hartline really doesn't have a lot of time. You know, I mean, I got to tell you, there's just not a lot of things to go to do with those run receivers. And Kentucky's defense, 253 yards given up.
Mastay is on to punt. Return is on all the way.
Oh, my, what a punt.
He boomed it. Arenas drifts back, grabs it at the 11. Sets up the wall left side. Can he turn the corner? Yes. But pursuit gets to him at the 33-yard line in the form of number 19, Winston Guy. 54-yard punt, a 22-yard return by number 28, Javier Arenas. Alabama has the ball, and they have a 14-point lead. Well, Jeremy Jarman wanted to make certain that everybody understood he was role-playing then. He was so concerned about the controversy of that role that he cleared it with his coach, Rich Brooks, and Rich Brooks gave him 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Pass deep. Jones, it's intercepted.
Yep, it is.
Picked off by Marcus McClinton, number 2.
It was a well-thrown ball. It was thrown to the right spot, 45 to 50 yards downfield, 5 yards inside. But this guy right at the top, right there, watch his eyes. He sees it's going to go. He's on the short side of the field anyway, and then he runs the ball down, does McClinton. Runs it down and makes a wonderful catch on it, over-the-shoulder catch. Pretty good execution, but John Parker needed to hold the free safety McClinton one more second to get that to work.
Only the second interception off the arm of John Parker Wilson this season. McClinton now with 3 interceptions, first down 10 from the 15. But can they do anything with the football? Whoops. There's a reset and the audible. Ball play, Locke squirts through left guard out to the 19. Make it the 18-yard line.
Again, I just can't emphasize enough how important a Glenn Dorsey or a Terrence Cody is inside. When a regular formation and you got one guy in the middle that can play 2 gaps, the gap to the right of the center and the left of the center, that means you don't have to bring that 8th guy down in the box, and you can stop the run with 7, and you force that quarterback to face all the deep safeties to the outside of the field. Very, very difficult to do.
Time called by. We had a clock issue? I'm not sure. Looks like that's what it is.
Yeah, 40-second clock was still at 40. I don't know if it even started. We have a lot of experience with this, Vern and I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
See the play clock on the right side, and it never did start.
Yep. The old sticky button.
The play clock has malfunctioned. The play clock will be kept on the field by the back judge.
The back judge has now the system that he will use. He will put his hand up in the air when it gets under 10 seconds so the quarterback can find him and know if he's close to having to delay a game.
Is it tough for a quarterback?
You know, when I first started playing in the NFL, they didn't have a play clock. It was just...
You're older than I thought.
Well, you know, I still work out hard, try to look good. No, it came in about in my third or fourth year. It came in. At first that was harder to get used to, but then you almost can get used to anything. I think it's a little more disconcerting to the officials, to tell you the truth, because it's an extra job for them.
Well, we'll do a little synchronization here. Back judge is Dale Kniep. 14-0, and we're about to get set to resume play.
And think about this. Kentucky has run the ball 15 times, 19 yards.
Well, this is an Alabama defense. Whoa. Reverberation City. There we go. Second down. Alabama yielding only 54 yards per game on the ground. Here's the pass across the middle, a little too high, and it's incomplete, knocked away by Justin Woodall, number 27, intended for E.J. Adams. It'll be 3rd and 6.
The Alabama safeties are so aggressive on crossing routes. They hop them, they jump them across the middle. Sooner or later, you're going to have to run a crossing route on one side and a post behind it on the other side. It's the old Pittsburgh Steeler offense. Stallworth goes across, and Lynn Swann goes behind.
As a former play-by-play guy with the Dallas Cowboys, I saw more of that.
You saw that.
I saw more of that than I ever wanted to. 3rd down, 6. Stunts and the blitz, and Hartline wrapped up as he lets it go. It's incomplete. Eric Anders, the outside linebacker, coming on the blitz, number 32, and he got there.
That's that nickel package. I mean, if there's something, Anders is out to the outside. He kind of starts in the middle and runs a perfect stun inside and forces Hartline to throw it away. If there's anybody in college or maybe even pro football that has a better nickel package than Nick Saban, I'm not sure.
Well, you've indicated to us, you studied him, and
I
it's
studied,
really tough.
I could not come up with a significant read that I could bank on every play.
Eighth punt, he said, adroitly. Here's the kick. Oh, it's another good one by Mastay. Arenas all the way back at the 24.
Nice tackle.
Sure was. Down at the 31-yard line, tackle made by number 47, Matt Ramsey. So Mastay with a 58-yard punt. Arenas with 7 on the return. October afternoon in Tuscaloosa. Now Red Lobster presents today's scholar athlete, Tim Mastay, the outstanding punter for the University of Kentucky. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of Kentucky's General Scholarship Fund. 14-0. 12:28 to go, third quarter. Alabama with a first down and 10 at the 31. Make it the 32. This is Coffee to the 40. Johnny Williams, number 51, with a tackle.
Boy, Coffee has improved so much. It is kind of fun to watch. You know, now been in the league a couple years now. This is my third. It's kind of fun to watch these guys break into the league and just get better. You know, they all think they're so good when they come here as freshmen, but it takes a couple years of growth to find their real skill level here. He's really improved. That was a great cut.
And an 8-yard pickup. It's second down and 2. This time, nothing doing at the 38-yard line. Fitzgerald is the punter. Lions at the 23-yard line. Nice and high. Deep kick. Lions with a chance to return it.
He's such a gamer, isn't he? He's just a gamer. I love watching the guy play. He will be an NFL football player, I'll tell you that right now.
As was his father, Dickie Lyons Sr., who is here. Saban a little exasperated with his special teams guys. Well, Kentucky with the ball again. They've not been able to do much with it all afternoon. Monsell Allen is going to get his turn at tailback, number 30. Hartline is the quarterback.
Receivers real wide to the top. They're probably going to go to the slot. They are.
There's the roll, and the catch made by Dickie Lyons, hit as he crosses the boundary.
Really interesting. I thought they might go to Dickie. Well, receivers real wide to the outside, creates the hole, then they come out with a little sprint out and go to Dickie Lyons. Kentucky's only been across midfield twice in the game. They've got to try to find something to hang their hat on here. Could it be Dickie Lyons?
9:45 to go, third quarter, second down and 2. This is Lyons in motion. Handed off to Allen. He is stopped for a loss. Lorenzo Washington, number 97, makes the tackle. Loss of 2. Rich Brooks, 6th year, has already made the decision that when he retires, Joker Phillips will be the new head coach. Joker is his offensive coordinator, played at Kentucky. No timeline, however. 3rd and 4. Hartline under some pressure, and it's right through the hands of his tight end, Maurice Grinter. Brandon Fanny made the hit on Hartline, and it's 3 and out.
I really don't know what to really call. I mean, you're only getting about 2.5 seconds, less than 2.5 seconds to throw the ball. The Kentucky offensive line cannot pass block enough. That was a 4-man rush, and Hartline barely had time to throw a 5-yard pass route.
Mastay is on to punt again. Arenas is back at the 33. Another good one. Arenas, oh, with a fair catch call, and it went off of Arenas, who got it.
Yeah.
Kentucky got it. Special teams were a serious problem for Alabama last week in Georgia, and Arenas has not had a banner day with his decision-making.
What they call here on special teams is a poison call. Poison call. I'm going to try to make the play, try to fair catch it, but then when I can't and I feel traffic, he bumps into his own player. It actually bounces off the ground. That's one is just awareness there of knowing where you are as a blocking wingman trying to get away. It's a bad hop, but it's been lethargic for Alabama.
Marquise Johnson, number 24, bumped into Arenas. The ball hit him. 3 turnovers for Alabama today. Tony Dixon, the running back. Hartline wants a...
Can't screen against a man team like that.
Another look at the ball touching Marquise Johnson.
You'll see it. Arenas gets hit, falls away, ball bounces right up and hits Johnson, and then Kentucky falls on it. Again, the Alabama players are so schooled on those running backs. They play combo coverages. They don't play zone coverages, so everyone has a man. That time, Faney, number 98, the defensive end, was the guy who grabbed that screen pass. Hartline
half roll to his right. There's that little pass out. Is it Lyons again? It is Dickie Lyons Jr. Well, last week, the special teams, they were so far in front that it turned out not to be costly, but here was Fitzgerald, had a punt blocked. Fitzgerald again. This one returned 92 yards for a touchdown.
First time in 12 years that Alabama has given one an onside kick that was not recovered. Actually, Alabama were outscored in the second half last week, 30-10.
1 first down conversion in this ball game for Kentucky. Now, wow, the ball is incomplete.
Yeah, Kareem Jackson that time did exactly what you're supposed to do. He bumped off his guy, looked inside, and came in to make that big hit. Now, if you're Kentucky, do you go for it in 4-down territory? Watch, right side of your screen. Catch is made. Couple steps. Well, he was juggled there, and Jackson came to the end. That was close to being a fumble. Very close. I think Kentucky's going to go for it.
They are.
This is going to be reviewed. I think this play will be reviewed.
The previous play is under further review.
Dixon on the sideline.
Yeah, he had the ball, and as he started to turn, he was losing possession of the ball. He's in the backfield, sneaks out. It's a pass route from the backfield, catches it. In the slow motion one, you can tell as he turns, he loses possession of it just before the hit.
1-2.
There was one more shot from behind that we had of it that it looked like he was losing control. Here it is. This is the shot, the definitive shot. 1, 2, and then he loses it. We did not have a review last week. Mr.
This is regular speed. They continue to look.
Mr. Lundquist seems to think this is going to be overturned, don't you? You seem to be leaning that way.
Did I have that look on my face?
No, but the 1-2 is a good tell. You know, that's your tell. That's your.
I was never known for his slyness. Okay, 1. Of course, this isn't a foxtrot. 2. Did he make a move?
I don't even know. Did he make the first down? It's either an. I think either way.
Video evidence confirms the ruling on the field. The pass was incomplete. It will be 4th down.
4th down and 4. So it would have been 4th and 1, right?
Right.
He did not make the first down. Ball was incomplete. Wasn't a fumble, so we're going to go for it.
Well, on the season, Kentucky has gone for the first down on fourth down twice, one successful. And now with 8:14 to go in the third quarter, Roe Ark goes wide to the right. Lyons is in the slot to the left, and E.J. Adams is the outside man.
No surprise in the formation. Alabama was ready for this. Three receivers, one back.
Lyons goes right on fourth down. Hartline. He's not that much of a runner, and he's going to come up short. The ball is going to be spotted at the 29-yard line. Eric Anders chased him, got him.
Nobody does it better. LSU last year was the best I saw in the country in these combos back here. They push off, look at the top, push off one guy, stay with another guy, all over, nobody open, maybe somebody on the bottom of the field down here, hard to see them all, but pressure on the pass and not enough room to make it. Kentucky takes 4 downs after the turnover for nothing.
Welcome back to Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama. Kentucky goes for the first down, comes up a yard short. Alabama leads it by 14. They got a 78-yard run from Glenn Coffey early in the ball game, second possession. And then Mike Hartline fumbled. It took one hop, was returned, a fumble recovery for a touchdown from 4 yards out. Rolando McCain. Alabama also missed a field goal, and they had a fumble while going in. They fumbled at the Kentucky 3. So that brings you up to date as far as the scoring is concerned. The dominant factor in this ball game thus far has been the Alabama defense. Wilson, play fake, has to throw it away. Good coverage. Whoa.
Great coverage. Well, we had 2 big plays. The long run by Glenn Coffey and the self-inflicted wound right here by Hartline, just losing the ball. And as you said, Ed Hockley was not there to save him on this one. Vern said that, not me.
No. I say nothing. Second down and 10. 8 minutes to go, third quarter. The SEC on CBS.
I'm so impressed with this Kentucky defense, Vern. I know they've given up a lot of yards. What was it? A touchdown run, 75 yards, 78 yards. They've got, Alabama has, that means take that play out. I know you can't do that, but they'd have under 100 yards rushing for the game. For the most part, that front 7 has done the job for this Kentucky defense, and you can see Alabama, they've been having a cakewalk. I can show you tapes of them opening holes against Georgia. It's way different than it is here today.
Third down and 8. John Parker Wilson, left side, man coverage.
Play.
Julio Jones, he is something special.
He is.
Flag down.
It might be offensive pass interference, though.
Maybe that's why he's something.
Well, I mean, it was that stop comeback to the outside. Lindley's got him. Let's watch the coverage. Lindley's in a perfect position. Jones is looking back. I don't know. That's kind of football right there. But remember, the flag came off the Kentucky bench.
On the offense, number 8. That push is 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay third down.
I can tell you from years of playing, we always were suspect of those calls coming off the other team's bench because the referee, the official, had those guys right in his ear saying, shove off, shove off, shove off, and he throws the flag. That was really looked to me like both guys were playing football.
And that is the second time now that Jones has had a lengthy pass reception negated by a penalty.
And that's 8 penalties. Now remember, going into this game, I didn't see the graphic right there. I was looking down. Going into this game, Alabama was had the fewest penalties against them in the SEC, and they've got 8 for 80 in this game.
They came in averaging 25 yards in penalties per game.
Yeah, but they weren't pushed. They're finally being pushed in this game.
Third and 22. And put it on the ground. Get 5 yards. And punt. Let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update once again.
Later this afternoon in Tucson. Vern.
All right, Tim, here's the punt, and DeMario Ford is back. Makes the fair catch at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's going to be an illegal fair catch signal. I guarantee you it'll be a late fair catch signal here. That was very, very late by Ford. Let's see if my instincts are right here, or did he get nudged? We could see the catch on the back to see if, to me, it was very, very late.
There was an invalid fair catch signal given. By rule, that is not a penalty. There is no flag. The ball is dead at the end of the run, at the end of the catch. First down.
Be careful what you say. There are lip readers out here.
Well, it was a really, really late. Now watch this. He's there. He's there. He's there. It's a short little wave. Doesn't even get it above his face. Boy, that's weak. Now that is weak. He deserved to get just nailed on that one.
Looked like he had alligator arms.
He sure did.
And so, first down and 10. Hartline chased again. And is there a flag?
No.
No.
Oh, late and off that bench again.
Yes, indeed.
See, if I'm Kentucky, I'm throwing to the right here. Johnson comes around. It looks like his left hand, but was the ball past him? I thought the ball might have been past the receiver. Johnson there. His left hand grabs him. I think that's a good call.
Yep.
Pass interference on the defense. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. That penalty carries an automatic first down.
That was a good call. Johnson is a very aggressive football player. You can see it. He's got his arm all over his left arm that time. Johnson reads things very well. If I was trying to pre-read against Alabama, I would never look at number 49. He never gives you a pre-read look. I'd find somebody else.
Rashad Johnson, a one-time walk-on, now a captain of this team. First down and 10 after the 9th Alabama penalty. Little screen pass inside, and Locke has some room and some speed.
Remember, he came to Kentucky on a track scholarship, and he showed why right there. This almost looked like a necktie from behind. You know, the horse collar tackle. Right job by Hartline. Looking to his left, throwing to his right. Now watch, split the safeties. From behind, oh yes, he did. He got him. Has a jersey from behind.
That's 36-yard gain, Hartline.
Same play the other way.
Dickey Lyons, absolutely. Is he in?
Yes.
Yes, touchdown, Kentucky.
Football player Dickey Lyons, great calls by Kentucky.
That's his dad. Lonis Sieber is on for the extra point. Was the field goal kicker. Went 2 of 6 in the win over Middle Tennessee State. Lost his job, but they've retained his services as the man for the try after touchdown. And this one is good. And Kentucky has shaved the margin in half. Excuse me,
Same play both ways. You're right. Watch it. Zip Duncan right here. Number 72, the left guard. Watch this. Play behind the play. Blocks, goes out, frees it right there. Look at this block he's going to get to clean it on. Javier is right there. Boom. That sends Dickey Lyons, gets a block downfield by T.C. Drake. And Dickey Lyons, who's not a slow football player, guts this Alabama defense for a touchdown.
Dickey Lyons Jr. in for the score. It's 14-7. 14-7 with 5:49 to go in the third. You let them hang around, and all of a sudden, Kentucky, first offensive thrust of the ball game. In the first 11 possessions, they had a total of 78 yards of offense. On this drive, 70 yards in 2 plays. Arenas is the deep man, and this one Mastay will send way back. And another look at the Dickey Lions touchdown catch.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez want me to point out that their son also, watch, the center and the guard also had key blocks. Watch Gonzalez, number 61. He also goes downfield. 2 big blocks. 1, 2. There's another one right there. Got that's a well-run play, and then the tight end comes down and gets the cleanup block on the safety, Justin Woodall. A perfectly executed football play.
His dad, an All-American at Kentucky, played for the Saints. Dickey Lions went to the the Manning Family Passing Academy with Archie and Peyton and Eli back in the summer. And here is John Parker Wilson going deep, and that one is in trouble. Almost picked off. Whoa.
Can I tell you what it's like to face a man coverage football team like Kentucky? Okay, I faced it before when we played the Houston Oilers and Stevie Brown. If you don't throw a ball on timing, they're going to get it. They have good enough athletes that if you throw it late or you lob the ball, they're going to get it. They force you to run good routes and throw on timing. If you do that, they'll concede it. Say, okay, you got that one, but you better be on time or we'll get the next one.
2nd down 10. Wilson yet to complete a pass in this quarter. And off left side. This is Coffey, number 38. Gain of 5.
Can you feel Alabama dribbling left-handed? Can you feel it? It's like the old Bobby Knight theory, you know. If he can't go left, I'm going to rip you if he beats you to the right. Okay, because I've just told you he can't go left. So right now, Kentucky has said to their guys, let's see if they can go left. We know they can run the ball. We take that away. So far, Kentucky's up there. Alabama kept them in the game, and now Kentucky's taking advantage of it.
3rd and 3. Wilson.
It's a penalty over there, isn't it? It was all over his jersey that time.
Pass sailed on John Parker Wilson, and there's no flag.
Just love aggressive football in the secondary. Lindley that time does a great job. Watch this. Takes on the young receiver, jams him, grabs his jersey. He grabbed his jersey. He's lucky he got away with it. What happened is the back judge way behind him to make that call, and I think his body shielded him on that one.
P.J. Fitzgerald on to punt. DeMario Ford is back. 14-7 with 4:46 to go in the 3rd. This time a little more legitimate fair catch called. Right. At least he got his arm above his shoulder.
Right. Wasn't very long, but he did it.
Well, chaos one in this state. 20 trips. They're 0-19-1 in Alabama. Watch out for Hartline. He goes deep for Roark.
Nice coverage.
And it was terrific coverage. That's 3-on-3 again. And Kareem Jackson, the crowd is howling for offensive pass interference.
And that's exactly what Nick just said. What's up with that? You know, you called it the other way. Number 3, definitely Roark is kind of pushing off, but perfect position. You're taught as a defender to kind of climb in his jersey. You're not real tall if you're Jackson, so climb right inside of his jersey and run right underneath his elbows on that one. That was perfect.
E.J. Adams and Lions break the huddle, go wide to the right. Roark is split off left. Derek Locke is the running back on 2nd and 10. Screen pass. They try the inside play. And that's Grinter, the tight end, who's getting most of the playing time today. T.C. Drake did have a great block downfield on that touchdown catch. But Grinter's in there now. Luther Davis, number 96, with the tackle. 3rd and 9.
Now remember, you're in the football game here if you're Kentucky. All right, 3rd and long is not really a comfort zone for Hartline. Nothing wrong with punting the football. Pressure is on Bama now.
Hartline deep down the middle. Almost picked off, and it's caught. Wow, I thought Rashad Johnson was going to get the ball, and instead Grinter gets a first down.
It's the best pass of Hartline's career. Well, watch this. He sticks it right in between the linebacker and Johnson, one of the best pass secondaries people in this conference. He throws it on the line. He doesn't lob it, and he puts it in a window that's about 2 to 3 feet wide.
Maurice Gritter with a 23-yard gain and a first down at the 44-yard line. Hard line, deep left side, double coverage. Kareem Jackson with the interception.
They tried a gimmick play, and Alabama was ready for it.
First pick of the season for Kareem Jackson.
Tried a gimmick play. Remember the wide receiver screens? They tried to fake it this time, but the safety never moved. Watch this safety. He will never move. The tight end's going to come out and then go up the field. Comes out, goes up the field. The safety never moves, forces the short throw, and Jackson eats it up.
On the turnover, 1st and 10, Alabama. They lead it 14-7. Here's the draw play to Coffee. Nice run.
Vern, why I said the safety made that play, I know Jackson intercepted it, but if the safety had not been there, Hartline's going to lay it up and Jackson has no shot. When he saw the safety and it was Johnson, the smartest player on the field, it forced him to drill it in there, and Kareem came back and made the interception.
Mike Hartline, sophomore, 13 of 31 now. He had a fumble return for a touchdown, and the interception goes the way of Alabama. 2nd down and 4. Coffee. First down, Alabama. And we go back to spend. No. I knew he'd get fine here. It was like that. It's a weekly event.
That's the first down for Alabama in the second half.
They'll give it to Coffee again, and Coffee popped as he gets inside the 45. Michael Schwindel, number 20 and 21. Micah Johnson again, the outstanding linebacker for Kentucky, not able to go today, so Schwindel got the start. Braxton Kelly moved over to the middle, and Johnny Williams is the other starter. Here's Schwindel. Alabama has rushed it 202 yards. Kentucky for 20, and it's a 14-7 game.
Yet I think Kentucky's defense is holding their own here.
I agree.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I sure do. Overs.
Well, now think about it. This is the 5th series for Alabama in this half. Remember, it started out with an interception. Then it was 3 straight 3-and-outs. Now they come out and grind it out, hit the gash, and that's that downhill. Stay on one track. Don't bounce it outside. Press the hole, and Coffee makes another first down.
First down and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. This is Ingram, and he gets down to the 25. Best offensive set for Alabama in this half. Braxton Kelly, number 55, is there in the middle. John Parker Wilson, Hoover High School outside of Birmingham. His head coach, Nick Saban, said he has such a passion for the University of Alabama. And Jim McElwain, the new offensive coordinator, working with John Parker, underlined that same emotion that he brings to this game. Sometimes too emotional.
Beautiful defense.
Yes, it was. That was David Jones, the cornerback, number 7.
That was that 8-man, 9-man front. 2 tight ends. You're going to face a 9-man front. You're going to get the fill from the safety. Just watch this ball get bounced to the outside right here. Nothing at the hole. Bounce it outside, and there's the corner. David Jones standing right there to make the play. Bend your knees. Wrap up. Give it a Chris Spielman tackle. That was a Chris Spielman tackle.
Ooh.
Bend your knees and wrap it up.
That's the end of 3 in Tuscaloosa with our score, Alabama 14.
Words can't even describe how I felt, you know, once I found that I was going to be captain and I was going to get to go through that tremendous ceremony at the Denny Chimes. And I just try and take the responsibility with me every day and be a leader on and off the field and do the right things and teach guys, you know, the way that you're supposed to be when you're here as an Alabama football player.
Rashad Johnson came here as a walk-on out of Sulligent, Alabama. Team captains elected permanent captains at the end of each season. That honor given to him last year. Third down as we begin the fourth quarter. This drive, 6 plays, 6 runs, 34 yards.
Man-to-man down here. No faking those guys. They're in their face, and they're saying, I got you all over the field.
Nikita Stover, number 9, goes in motion. John Parker Wilson backs up. Coverage is really good, and he has to run, and he's out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And so that's going to bring on Tiffin.
And remember, Tiffin has missed a 35-yard field goal and an extra point. He got a reprieve because of the offside penalty.
Tiffin came in 8 of 10 this year. He's 0 from 34 in this one. And this will be a 41-42 yard. We'll see what they call it officially. 41 yards from the right hash. P.J. Fitzgerald is the holder. Brian Selman will snap it back.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Boy, this has been a clinic on how to keep another team in the game so far, don't you think?
Well, and again, Nick Saban's emphasis was lack of focus, lack of focus, lack of focus. Wonder if that's another example. Or maybe he's just having a bad day. I'm a big fan of low-scoring games. It's one of them. Alabama gets a 78-yard run from Coffee to take a 7-0 lead. McClain with this fumble recovery. Mike Hartline dropped the football, 14-0. And then Dickie Lyons Jr. on the inside release, and he goes in for the touchdown, and that's where we stand. 14-7. Tiffin has missed now from 34 and 41. He came in having an excellent season, 8 of 10. But 0 for 2 in this game. He also, as Gary said, missed an extra point. There was a penalty on the play, so he got another chance and made that one. Now here's Hartline. Kentucky trailing by 7. First down 10 at the 25. Handoff, right side. And not much there. Well, this is the number 2 team in the country playing at home against an undefeated team, but heavily favored to win this one.
Yeah, I think the lesson here is the difference between 1 and 2 and team number 50 or 60 is about this much, okay? And if you don't play your A game, anyone can beat anyone. It's one of the reasons that these coaches, I think, have a lot of gray hair, and it's a lot of fun to do the games when you're on TV. It's just fun to watch these things.
And make a lot of money. Especially in the case of the guy for the Crimson Tide. Second down and 9. Left side, caught. Good defensive play. Adams with the catch.
Yeah, Kentucky looks like they've almost conceded that they're not going to be able to run their regular base offense. They've gone almost 3 wide receivers, shotgun exclusively. You can see it. There's that combo. Inside, you get the linebacker. Thompson pushes off the receiver and runs to the next one. That's not a zone. He never turned around and looked at the quarterback. He was playing a combo.
3rd and 6. Kentucky 2 of 13 on third down conversions, and yet they trail by 7. Hartline lets it go. Dickie Lyons has the catch. It's first down.
That's where the ball has to go. Inside receiver to the strong side. The weak side is tough. Look at Lyons get inside Javier Arenas right there. That's the coaching point for Arenas. You've got help to the outside. Don't get beat inside. And Lyons got by a great route and a great throw by Hartline.
Lyons with a gain of 13, his 5th catch of this ball game, and a 3rd down conversion by Kentucky. 4 wides on this offensive set, and they hand it off. The ball is given off to Alfonso Smith, number 29. Tackle made by McLean, 25, and Brandon Fanning, number 98.
See, his spread offenses here. They got Cody in the game, number 62. He looks like he's getting a little tired to me, doesn't he? He's not moving like he was at the beginning of the game, and that's when these spread offenses, when you got a guy like that, I think Kentucky said, we can't handle him. Let's do something different.
Second down. Flag, near side. Line judge.
There's a flag on the field.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 75 on the offense. That penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. It's still second down.
We do need to work on the reverberation from our referee's mic.
You know, I don't want to say this, but I guess I have to. This SEC has got a lot of inflow of money. I think they need to work on the 40-second clocks and the mics for the officials
I would agree.
next year, right?
Yeah.
Invest a little money, guys.
Second down. Heartline. Oh, it's dropped. Eric Adeyemi, number 13.
Was it tipped?
Could have been.
Yeah, I think
Bobby
it was
Greenwood.
tipped inside. I think Greenwood got his hand on that one because that play was a good call. Kind of a blitz package. Yes, inside. Great play by Bobby Greenwood. That is an athletic play by a big guy right there.
3rd and 10 in the ball game. Kentucky 3 of 14 on third downs. 2 wides to the left, 2 to the right. Alabama looks like they might be coming from the corner. Timeout call by Hartline. First timeout taken by the Wildcats. And it comes with 11 minutes and 13 seconds. That's Randy Sanders, quarterback coach. He'll talk with Hartline. Black Warrior River winds through Tuscaloosa. Chief Tuscaloosa was a member of the Black Warrior tribe. And coming up, the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. 14-7, Kentucky 3rd down and 10.
You were right, Vern. That was a blitz look by Alabama, and Hartline got out of it. Let's see if they come back from the bottom with the same look. Nope, they fail.
McLean backs away. Pass is caught by Locke, and he is not going to get the first down. And that allows us to go back and spend another moment with Tim Brando.
Vern, those develop. Vern, back to you.
Black Warrior River here, War Eagle down the road. They'll get together at the end of this season here this year. Auburn has defeated Alabama 6 times in a row.
He's a good punter. This kid can punt, I'll tell you.
Maste Arenas with the fair catch, and he grabs it at the 17-yard line. That's a 37-yard punt, but nothing on the return. 14-7 Crimson Tide.
And anyone has been this close to Alabama in the 4th quarter. Georgia pulled it within 11 late in the game, but this is the first time Alabama has played under pressure this season in the 4th quarter.
Handoff, Coffee, just a couple. And let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
That's right, Fern. Well, Nick Saban first called Alabama offensive coordinator Jim McElwain. He thought it was some sort of joke. He hung up the phone. He didn't even know Saban. He didn't even know there was a job opening. He said, I guess he just threw the dart at the wall and hit my name. But being serious, McElwain told us the challenge of the SEC, the lure of Alabama, the opportunity to learn and work with a guy like Nick Saban, that's something he could not pass up.
Jim McElwain grew up in Missoula, Montana. He was a quarterback at Eastern Washington in the early 80s from Cheney, in Cheney, Washington. That pass complete left side. That is John Parker Wilson's first completion of the second half.
One-on-one, beat the guy. Perfect throw, low, and a nice catch. You know, Julio Jones right here with AJ, the receiver of Georgia. I don't think they're quite to the Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald twosome that I saw years back as freshmen. They're pretty close, though.
That's a gain of 14. First down at the 33. Here's Coffee. Nice cut. And he goes up the middle to the 37-yard line. Johnny Williams makes the stop, just did so by an ankle.
This is the strategy that Kentucky has been using all game. The linebackers, this time it's Kelly, number 56 in the middle. Watch him attack the line of scrimmage. Before he can get there, that's the game plan. That's what we heard from Steve Brown. You can't sit back on these guys. When the linemen try to double our defensive linemen, we must attack the line of scrimmage.
Coffee again, getting a heavy workload today. That is his 19th carry for Glenn Coffee. Well, Braxton Kelly, a year ago when they faced the #1 LSU team, had a big game. No play bigger than that one.
Overtime stop, and that was Charles Scott, by the way.
Yes, he's having a terrific season.
Yes, he is.
For LSU.
Well, this is the 6th possession for Alabama. They've had 2 first downs in the half, 1 interception, and 5 other possessions, 2 first downs total.
Next carry for Coffee will be his 20th. It's 3rd and short. He gets it, and he gets the first down out to the 45-yard line.
That's kind of that NFL push. Doesn't look like anything. Just kind of pushes it and falls forward. Push, shoot a shoe, cut off the last guy, run through a tackle, make somebody, at that time it was Jarman that had a hit, but your big back runs through one tackle and makes a first down. 6 NFL coaches that have NFL experience are on Nick Saban's staff.
That's an amazing stat. First down.
Well, he's got 25 coaches. It's actually a lower percentage than most. Just kidding, Nick.
Oh, goodness.
40 runs in the game now for Alabama, just 17 passes, and as you mentioned, just pressing the line of scrimmage, and Glenn Coffee has become that workload. The changeup is Mark Ingram. Haven't seen much of Upchurch in this game. It was so effective against Georgia.
And we haven't seen Terry Grant, who's kind of lost his status with the team, the leading rusher from a year ago.
He's 8.5 men in the box now. When are they going to go play action pass?
Not yet. Coffee close to the first down. To you.
Hey, well,
you left him out last week.
We had an impact on that one, didn't we, Vern? Quarterback sneak here for Alabama. We probably should pay attention to this game, shouldn't we?
I guess. Yes, we should. 3rd down and 1, and the carry from John Parker Wilson. This might require a measurement to see where the spot is. And we're having some fun with Tim because Chase Daniel
didn't make the list.
Didn't play last week, so didn't make the list.
This is really close. I think it may be a little short. Any push up front? Not much, was there? Well, I'll really hand it to this Kentucky defense. Remember, Alabama scored 1 touchdown in this game. You know, Alabama's defense, that's their 5th non-offensive touchdown this year, and that is short. I thought it was. I pretty much think you got to punt this ball. Your defense is playing too good.
I agree.
You know, a bobbled snap or something. Now, wouldn't mind seeing kind of drum off sides. That might be a play here. Now, they're going to punt. Are they going to go short yardage? Be a good play to try to draw Kentucky offside.
Baron Huber, number 40, the blocking back, is in the huddle. John Parker Wilson. 4th and a foot. Coffee is running back. Huber is number 40. Coffee goes the other way, spins and got it. He got it with a spin move. He was stopped momentarily.
He was. Well, Nick Saban's channeling a little Les Miles in this one. If you want to win a national championship, you got to gamble a little bit. This had to bounce outside. Lindley, if he'd have gone low, he might have been able to make that play, but Coffee just ran through the smallish corner. Lindley on that play. That was great defense from that Kentucky front.
Gary references one of the great games we saw last year, and that was LSU's win over Florida, 28-24, in which Les Miles went for a first down on fourth down 5 times and successfully converted all 5. Braxton Kelly with a stop. How about the workload of Glenn Coffey this afternoon?
Well, he's the leading candidate for player of the game, and this guy, I mean, there's just no one else alive from Alabama. He is a workhorse. He's the offense. What have they run the ball 43, 44 times in this game?
And he's picked up 190 yards.
He's got 24 carries.
He's had 8 carries out of the 10 on this drive. Second down. Coffey. Fumble. Out of bounds at the 1.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Kentucky gets a gift, and they throw it away. I think that ball would have rolled right out of the end zone.
Yep.
Great cut by Coffey. 25th carry of the game. Look at this cut. Presses the hole, gets to the outside. Now he's got the ball in the wrong hand, comes from behind. That ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's dribbled out of bounds.
Marcus McClinton punched the ball free. That was David Jones.
That was a fumble. Forward and out of bounds. By rule, the ball is brought back to the spot of the fumble. First down.
A gift, the second gift for Kentucky in this game, and this time they couldn't open up the wrapping paper.
So officially a 31-yard run. It was David Jones who thought he had possession. And instead, there's Jones with that expression of exasperation.
Yeah. Interesting, then the ball goes back to the 12 now, which allows Alabama to get a first down. You know, it was at the 9. I'd rather, if I was Alabama, have the ball at the 12 than the 9.
It is first down and 10 at the 12. Under 4.5 to go. John Parker Wilson tripped. Believe he tripped on the snap. Antoine Caldwell.
That's a Clint Stoner moment almost right there. That's pretty good. I didn't even work in this conference when that
That
happened.
is very good, yes. That's
the old
very
Arkansas quarterback gets tripped from behind, and that was almost a disaster. Now, Kentucky should think about timeouts here. Remember, struggling kicker in Tiffin. A field goal kind of puts it away, but you want to have time. You might have to score twice.
2nd and 13. Roy Upchurch to the 3-yard line, where Sam Maxwell, number 50, makes the tackle.
Tackled by Sam Maxwell.
Remember again, they can get a first down. Upchurch has the fresh legs now. Gets around the side of Kentucky. Kentucky hasn't substituted much, but I admire the way they've played in this game. It's been a great football game for the Kentucky program. You know, Dickie Lyons said, you know, we don't want to just be a good Kentucky team. We want to help this into becoming a good Kentucky program. I think they're on their way.
Well, and Rich Brooks rebuilt this program. A couple of tough years to start when he took over 6 years ago. 2-9, 2-9. Thought he would be fired. There's Upchurch. A flag is down. See if this is before the snap. Rich Brooks, he's 68 years of age right now. There is a succession plan in place. His record at Kentucky, it was 2-9 and 3-8. And the Wolves were howling. And then the key game was in that 2006 season after they lost at LSU.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I think Kentucky is going to. It's a nice graphic, but I think Kentucky.
In other words, you don't like it up there.
Well, I like it up there. I just want to concentrate. It is right now. Kentucky needs to take a timeout. I think they'll decline the penalty, take a timeout, and save 40 seconds. I just was into the game here. I know. I apologize.
It's why you make almost as much money as Saban.
Let's see what happens here. If it's an Alabama penalty.
Offside. number 95 on the defense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay third down.
Line up again offside? Is that what it is?
Is that Ventrell Jenkins?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
95 he must have been in the neutral zone. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So now it's third and very short to get a first down.
3rd and 1 at the 3. And the running back is Upchurch. John Parker Wilson under center, gives it to Upchurch. Goes over right tackle and appears close for a 1st and goal.
I think he's got it.
Let's go back and take a look at the offside.
That's right here is the guy that I guess was in the neutral zone. Play is being called right there by that official, the line judge. He's straddling the line.
Had a pretty good view of it.
Yep.
So a measurement will be coming next. 2:15 to go. I see that look on Nick Saban's face, and I think back to what he said. One of the things he said in the aftermath of the victory at Georgia, 41-30. He said, "I may not look happy, but I am."
Yeah, well, I don't think he is today. It was
No.
short. 4th down. Field goal ices the game.
He's missed 2.
He's missed 2 and an extra point. I'll tell you one thing, Kentucky needs to take a timeout here.
Here was Tiffin missing from 34 yards. And then in this half, here was Tiffin missing from 41 yards. There was also a missed extra point.
Oh, they do. Good job. Good job, Rich Brooks. See, the new 40-second clock costs you under. It would be down to 1:30 almost before you kick the field goal.
So timeout taken by Kentucky. 2:15 to go. Nick Saban had a chance to think about it during the timeout, said to the field goal attempt. He has got the heavy guys out there.
Tiffin's right now saying, well, I guess he doesn't believe much in me right now. A lot of games left in this league. He might have to win one later.
John Parker Wilson under center. 4th and a foot.
They're going to try to draw him off sides and take a timeout. Well, if they drew him off, it would be a 1st down. The game's over. It's not a bad strategy. And I would assume Nick Saban's saying it improves the angle. Now, I've been told that. I don't quite get it, but it improves the angle.
The flag is dropped with 2:04 officially remaining in the game. So Tiffin is now on after the 5-yard penalty.
Was I wrong, or did Kentucky call timeout at 2:10 left in the game? How did time go off the clock? Yeah, that has to be wrong. They're going to put time back on the clock. It came off a timeout for Kentucky, right?
2:15.
2:15, so it goes back. Yes.
Good eyes. Very good when you pay attention. This is 24-yard field goal. Tiffin. 0 for 2 in the ball game.
Not that I'm rooting against Kentucky, but for Tiffin. He needed that.
Yeah, he did. Tiffin now 1 for 3 for the afternoon, and it's 17-7 Crimson Tide. Lee Tiffin knocks it home from 24 at the end of a 15-play, 77-yard drive that chewed up 8 minutes and 9 seconds. The player of the game, Glenn Coffey, 218 yards on 25 carries. He got 78 yards of those on a first quarter touchdown run.
Well, you got to hand it to Coffey. He's had a great day. Yes, he had the breakaway one that helped your stats. You always got to have that to get great stats. But he played the entire game. He's gone the long one, and he had that big run on this drive. As you said it, Vern, 15 play, actually 14 and then the field goal. But it was a great fourth quarter drive for Alabama. As you can see, the time was it, but a great fourth quarter drive. 5 first downs. Remember I said they had to show they could do it under pressure? They did this under pressure.
And they have a 10-point lead against the Wildcats. And it would appear that Kentucky's going to go 0-20-1 in the state of Alabama. This is Dickie Lyons Jr. coming right and getting pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Derek Locke, beg your pardon.
Well, you got to hand it. Now, listen, to win a championship, and I've seen this forever. We saw it with Florida. I saw it at Ohio State back in the day. It's not going to be pretty every week. You know, I've heard coaches talk about this. You can only get your team really to play at peak potential 4, maybe 5 times a year. So you're going to have to win some of these ugly games. Florida did it. LSU did it. Ohio State's done it in the past. This time, Alabama won a game when they didn't play their best.
Hartline at quarterback with 2:04 remaining. Handoff. This is Locke, number 20. Just think about our conversation on Wednesday with Rich Brooks. Having turned this program around, what would it mean if they won this game on the road and they were heavy underdogs? He said it would mean a lot, but it's not any kind of a signature game for us. We have proven that we can play in the SEC.
Right. Totally agree.
This one is thrown out of bounds. Brandon Diedrich, number 95, with the pressure. Well, we're assuming here, and you should never do that, but with 1:36 to go, it would appear they're going to win their 6th. They are off the next week, and then Ole Miss here at Tennessee. See, out of conference, Arkansas State.
That one right there. That's the game, I think. That Tennessee game at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee's physical enough on defense to play them just like this, like Kentucky. That'll be a tough one for them.
Hartline, Dickie Lyons. First down and out of bounds. There might be a little attention focused on that game in November in Baton Rouge.
Oh, well, we know that one. But, I mean, I think everybody's conceding that they're going to beat Tennessee, and now they're just, they're looking at the big games. This schedule, the only team, Alabama's the only team in the country that has beat 2 teams that have been ranked in the top 10 going in. Neither one of them were at home. Right. That's Clemson and Georgia, both not at home here in Bryant-Denny.
Hartline back. Throws it short to Locke, who is taken down immediately by Rolando McClain. So the clock showing 1:18. Derek Locke is the running back. Second down. Hartline caught by Locke. That's another first down.
My impression of Alabama, I was somewhat surprised that they came up this fast this year. I still thought this year they would be a year away. I thought next year would be their year. They've got a friendlier schedule next year, and it would be the 3rd year in. They're a very good football team, but I think everybody that turns the tape on now says, this is not the Pittsburgh Steelers. We can play with these guys.
That one thrown away by Hartline. Well, of course, this Alabama program through turmoil for much of this decade. Right. They were on probation, lost 21 scholarships, went through a series of coaches. They have only 9 scholarship seniors on the team. And Nick Saban telling us yesterday, we have no depth. None.
Most coaches say that, but I thought Alabama wore down last year. There's no doubt about that.
They started 6-2 and then lost their last 4 in regular season. Here's Lyons back.
Red flag for me has been that John Parker Wilson, when he was forced to carry the team, did not come through. Doesn't mean he won't come through down the line, but in this game, that is kind of what everybody in this conference thinks is the weak point. Oh, man, look at this.
Wow. Ford, touchdown, Kentucky. DeMario Ford, the junior, 48-yard pass and catch.
3rd and long and get somebody that open.
Might have injured a shoulder.
That has got to be, that's got to be like a knife in the back for Alabama, and Kentucky now will go for an onside kick just like last week. How does this guy let anybody get behind him? How can that possibly happen? Game's in hand. What are you doing? You bite inside and let someone go right down the sideline, and that's your best football player.
Rashad Johnson.
It's Rashad Johnson, the one guy you depend on if you're a coach to say, Shad, you can't make that mistake. If they complete it, we can't lose. Now they're going to face an onside kick.
Johnson goes inside. Ford scoots down the sideline, 48 yards, and walks without assistance over to the Kentucky bench. 40. Now they did not recover the onside kick.
That's right.
Last week, special teams were a problem in that win, so they're going to have the hands team out here in a minute.
Really impressed with Kentucky's heart in this football game. They just don't match up as well on offense yet.
Lonis Sieber will attempt the extra point. Got it.
The kick is good. Alabama 17, Kentucky 14. Kentucky scoring.
Watch. We can just let this thing go. I'll just stay right on him right here. Just go ahead. Watch this thing. He's going to go back. And then watch him come up and bite inside. That's the mistake. When he does that, he's got to keep both those guys in front of him. Nix just goes, that's impossible. We do this every day. That's the rule. You don't let anybody get behind you. Never come inside like that.
That was Ali Sharif, who was on the receiving end of the.
Well, Nick's just going to yell at anybody around him. I mean, you just got to kind of get out of the way. I mean, Johnson was lucky he didn't walk over there right now.
Alabama sends their return unit out. Javier Arenas is deep, but he's not going to get the ball.
You must have 4 players to the right of the kicker.
And they do. Or do they? Yes,
they do.
Yes, they do. Yep. It is Sieber who will kick off. Out of bounds.
That's kind of disappointing if you're the special teams coach for Kentucky. Rich Brooks, who made a living understanding special teams, says, Steve, you only got 2 jobs. You kick it off, you kick field goals, and you practice onside kicks. Well, you got to hit the ground first on that one. Well, hey, great battle by Kentucky. They're legit. I'll tell you what, they could beat anybody at home.
And they will go home against South Carolina. And they've got Arkansas coming in. They have to go on the road to Florida, to Mississippi State. But they have given Alabama a battle today.
Championships, you just don't roll into a championship pretty every week. This is just the way it is. Remember, 2 weeks, a team very similar to Kentucky, Ole Miss, comes in here with a very strong front 4, very similar to this Kentucky team.
Now you could hear Nick Saban congratulating Rich Brooks. 17-14 is the final. As Alabama hangs on, they rolled out to an early 14-0 lead, appeared very much in command, but Kentucky very resilient throughout the game and get back to within 3. Now it's time for the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler with the call. Here's Eli Gold of the Alabama Radio Network.
Kentucky 14.
Bama leads 7-0. Shotgun Hartline loses the ball. It is picked up by Alabama. Taken in by Rolando McClain. Touchdown! Touchdown!
That's the most
That made it 14-0. John Parker Wilson, very modest numbers today. He wound up 7 of 17 for 106 yards. The star for Alabama, Coffee, with 218 yards on 25 carries.